Hi everyone, it is Anzac Day, the 25th of April 2023. On the 22nd of April, the Australian government announced that New Zealanders who had been on the special category visa and had lived in Australia for 4 years could get citizenship from the 1st of July. The decision will affect at least 380,000 New Zealanders who are now able to apply for citizenship rather than waiting for permanent residency for 2 more years. In normal circumstances, I would agree with Prime Minister Hipkins, who said it was a blimmin' good day for Kiwis living in Australia. Why I don't agree? This reason is why this is not a fully happy announcement is that on the 24th of April, the Australian government released their Defence Strategic Review document. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese labelled this document as the most significant after the Second World War. Regarding the document, it is crucial that Richard Marles, the Minister of Defence and anyway Deputy Prime Minister, actually it is talkative that the Minister of Defence becomes the Deputy Prime Minister. Something is going on in Australia. Anyway, Marles expressed that it is now priority for the Defence Force to provide a much longer range strike capability and also having the manufacturing of ammunition in Australia. It is significant as well for the Defence Force to be more able to operate from the northern shores of Australia towards China. What was also crucial is that Marles announced the intention to improve the recruitment processes for the army. Now, the coincidence of the quicker path for Kiwis to Australian citizenship and the announcement of this Australian Defence Strategic Review, it's disturbing. Will this mean that sooner or later Australian citizens might face mandatory conscription? They want to improve their recruitment capacities. And if so, are the Kiwis living in Australia becoming a new basis of military recruitment? We should not have any illusions about the strategic relevance of the quicker pathway for Kiwis to Australian citizenship. And the Defence Strategic Review announcement, Albanese highlighted that it is the most challenging international security environment why Australia is investing into the country's defence capabilities and its foreign relations. New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has told Radio New Zealand that Australia decided to provide Kiwis with a quicker path to Australian citizenship. It was Australia's decision, eventually. When Hipkins gave an interview to The Guardian, he was even more open about the geopolitical aspects of this change in Australian immigration settings. He has expressed his expectation that New Zealand will create stronger bonds with Australia in an increasingly complex world. As he said, and I quote, "We want a stable, secure and resilient region, Indo-Pacific region. And New Zealand agrees with the AUKUS partners that the collective objective needs to be the delivery of peace and stability and the reservation of an international rules-based system in our region." Who is initiating war? Okay, we tend to underestimate the relevance of geopolitics in economic agreements. After the Australian immigration announcement, there were debates in New Zealand about why Australian incomes are about 1/3 higher than here in New Zealand. And in these debates, we tend to forget that Australia has enjoyed a free trade agreement with the United States since 2005. New Zealand, however, could not reach such an agreement. Foreign policy experts, I would rather not name them, I met them personally, they are convinced that the inability of New Zealand to reach a free trade agreement with the United States is due to New Zealand's nuclear-free policy. In a former video, I argued that since 2020, Australia has been behaving like a proxy to American foreign policy against China. It was in 2020 when Australia raised the questions about the origins of the COVID virus, and China made retaliatory trade sanctions against Australian meat export. And since then, Australia is becoming more and more aware of the security risks the country might face, or what the country should provide in terms of security for the region. But that's why I believe Australia is practically executing US foreign policy intentions. Regarding the AUKUS deal, I already raised the question that why Australia had to pay 4 times more for the exact same submarine capabilities than a French deal. AUKUS is very expensive. Now, this Defense Strategic Review document also proves that the Australian government is becoming increasingly proactive in forming the shape of the Indo-Pacific security framework. And I have to conclude this video with a little open question. I don't yet see the full picture. I don't claim I see it, but it is a bit unnerving. Well, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoy a lovely Anzac Day. It is a public holiday and we can have a bit of a rest. And have a nice day. See you in the next video.